Did you know a concrete slab can lose a significant amount of its strength simply because it wasn't cured properly?
Concrete doesn't gain strength by drying. It gains strength through a chemical process called hydration. When moisture leaves too quickly, hydration stops early, causing shrinkage cracks and reducing long-term durability.
Proper curing can significantly increase concrete strength and improve overall structural performance.
Common curing methods include water curing, wet coverings, and curing compounds that help retain moisture.
Remember, even the best concrete mix can fail to reach its full potential without proper curing.
Follow civil engineer Juwel for practical construction tips.
The biggest foundation mistake homeowners make isn't poor concrete, it's poor drainage.
When rainwater collects around your home, it saturates the soil and creates pressure against the foundation. Wet soil expands and dry soil contracts. This constant movement can cause foundation settlement and structural stress. Common warning signs include wall cracks, uneven floors, and doors or windows that no longer open properly.
Simple solutions like proper grading, gutters, and downspout extensions can help keep water away from your foundation.
Protecting your foundation starts with controlling water. Good drainage is one of the smartest investments any homeowner can make.
The key to a strong foundation is in the rebar placement. As you can see here, we're ensuring every beam is perfectly aligned before the concrete pour.
Good morning, class. What is the function of rebar in concrete?
Rebar helps concrete resist tensile forces.
Why can't concrete handle tension by itself?
Because concrete is strong in compression, but weak in tension. What happens without rebar?
The concrete can crack and fail under tensile stress.
By rotating the model, we can examine the stress points at the junction. Notice how the deformation is minimized here.
Ensure the cages are securely tied before the pour.
Did you get the spec for the W-beams?
Yeah, it's in the handout.
Can a modern building be constructed without rebar?
No, Professor. Rebar is essential for structural safety and durability.
Excellent answer. Keep learning engineering.
Follow for more civil engineering lessons and construction knowledge.
What happens if stirrups are not provided?
The beam may develop diagonal cracks and fail suddenly.
What happens if stirrups are not provided?
The beam may develop diagonal cracks and fail suddenly. Why is stirrup spacing reduced near beam supports?
Because shear forces are highest near the supports.
The stirrups are essential here to resist the shear forces, while the main bars handle the bending moment at the bottom.
Why are stirrups important for structural safety? They improve shear strength and increase beam stability.
Do stirrups have any other function?
Yes, they hold the main reinforcement bars securely in place.
আপনি কি জানেন মাত্র কয়েক টাকার স্টিরাপ না থাকলে কোটি টাকার বিল্ডিংও ঝুঁকিতে পড়তে পারে? অনেকেই শুধু মেইন রডের দিকে নজর দেন কিন্তু স্টিরাপের গুরুত্ব বুঝতে পারেন না। স্টিরাপ হল বিমের ভিতরে মেইন রডগুলোকে ঘিরে রাখা ছোট রিং বা টাই রড। এর প্রধান কাজ হল শিয়ার ফোর্স প্রতিরোধ করা। বিমের সাপোর্টের কাছে শিয়ার ফোর্স সবচেয়ে বেশি থাকে। যদি পর্যাপ্ত স্টিরাপ না দেওয়া হয় তাহলে বিমে তির্যক ফাটল বা ডিয়াগোনাল ক্র্যাক দেখা দিতে পারে। স্টিরাপ শুধু শিয়ার প্রতিরোধই করে না, এটি মেইন রডগুলোকে সঠিক অবস্থানে ধরে রাখে এবং পুরো রডের খাঁচাকে স্থিতিশীল রাখে। এ কারণে বিমের দুই প্রান্তে সাধারণত স্টিরাপের স্পেসিং কম রাখা হয়, কারণ ওই অংশে শিয়ার ফোর্স সবচেয়ে বেশি কাজ করে। মনে রাখবেন, শক্তিশালী বিম শুধু বড় রড দিয়ে হয় না। সঠিক সাইজ, সঠিক স্পেসিং এবং সঠিকভাবে বাঁধা স্টিরাপও সমান গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। আপনি যদি সিভিল ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং ও কনস্ট্রাকশন সম্পর্কে আরও গুরুত্বপূর্ণ তথ্য জানতে চান, তাহলে এখনই ফলো করুন প্ল্যান হাউস ইঞ্জিনিয়ার চ্যানেল।
So, as you can see here, the rebar placement is critical for the structural integrity of the shallow foundation.
Why can't a building sit directly on the soil surface?
Because the load must be distributed properly to prevent settlement.
So, comparing the three, the isolated footing works well for individual columns, while the raft foundation provides stability across the entire footprint.
Where does the structural load finally go?
All structural loads are transferred through the foundation into the soil.
Why is foundation construction so important?
Because foundation strength determines the safety and stability of the entire building.
Excellent answer, class.
Follow for more civil engineering lessons and construction knowledge.
আপনি কি জানেন একটি বিল্ডিংয়ের সবচেয়ে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ অংশ দেখা যায় না? কারণ সেটি মাটির নিচে লুকিয়ে থাকে। ফাউন্ডেশন হল ভবনের সেই অংশ যা পুরো বিল্ডিংয়ের লোড নিরাপদে মাটিতে স্থানান্তর করে। ছাদ, বিম, কলাম এবং দেয়ালের সব ওজন শেষ পর্যন্ত ফাউন্ডেশনের উপর এসে পড়ে। যদি ফাউন্ডেশন সঠিকভাবে ডিজাইন বা নির্মাণ না করা হয়, তাহলে ভবনে অসম বসে যাওয়া, সেটেলমেন্ট, দেয়ালে ফাটল এবং এমনকি কাঠামোগত ব্যর্থতাও ঘটতে পারে। তাই ফাউন্ডেশন ডিজাইনের আগে অবশ্যই সোল করা উচিত। মাটির ধারণক্ষমতা অনুযায়ী ফাউন্ডেশনের ধরন নির্বাচন করা হয়, যেমন ইজোলেটেড ফুডিং, কম্বাইন্ড ফুডিং, রাফট ফাউন্ডেশন অথবা পাইল ফাউন্ডেশন। একটি শক্তিশালী ভবনের শুরু হয় একটি শক্তিশালী ফাউন্ডেশন থেকে। বাড়ি নির্মাণের এমন গুরুত্বপূর্ণ তথ্য প্রতিদিন জানতে ফলো করুন প্ল্যান হাউস ইঞ্জিনিয়ার আর্কিটেক্ট।
When we look at the two-way slab, the load is distributed in both directions, utilizing a system of interconnected beams or columns.
How does a one-way slab transfer load?
A one-way slab transfers load mainly in one direction to two opposite supports.
When is a slab considered one-way?
When the longer span is more than twice the shorter span.
The arrows demonstrate the bidirectional load. As the tension increases here, you see the compression forces acting simultaneously on the opposing axis.
How is reinforcement arranged in a two-way slab?
Main reinforcement is provided in both directions.
Why is it important to identify slab type correctly?
Because it affects structural design, reinforcement, and safety.
So, the structural integrity holds at this scale.
Yes, Professor. We understand the parameters now.
This detail shows the typical layout for the floor slab. Notice how the rebar is spaced to ensure structural integrity under load.
What is the typical spacing between slab rebars?
Usually between 150 and 200 millimeters, depending on design requirements.
Notice how the stress concentrates at these points. Now, observe how the internal reinforcement absorbs that tension, distributing the load evenly across the structure.
What is corner reinforcement in a slab?
Corner reinforcement helps prevent cracks at slab corners caused by stress concentration.
Notice the stress visualization as the uplift occurs. The additional reinforcement bars, placed diagonally, are crucial for managing this tension.
What happens if corner reinforcement is ignored?
Cracks may develop at slab corners and reduce durability.
This structural analysis looks solid. You are clearly ready for the next phase. Yes, we feel confident moving forward.
Every great home begins with a single mark on empty land.
A strong foundation is the secret to a lifetime of stability.
Brick by brick, the dream starts taking shape. Layer by layer, the structure rises toward the sky. Every detail is crafted with precision and care.
From an empty plot to a dream home, built by plan house engineer and architect.
Class, what is the purpose of stirrups in a concrete beam?
Stirrups help resist shear forces and keep the main rebars in position.
Where are shear forces usually highest in a beam?
Shear forces are highest near the beam supports.
Pay close attention to the spacing right here. This is where the shear forces are highest, requiring maximum confinement.
Do stirrups serve any purpose besides shear resistance?
Yes, Professor. They also confine concrete and prevent buckling of rebars.
The beam performed exactly as expected. The stirrups successfully prevented shear failure, highlighting the importance of this design.
Excellent work today.
Follow for more civil engineering lessons and construction knowledge.
Class, what happens if the lap length in column reinforcement is incorrect?
It can seriously reduce the structural strength of the column.
What is the purpose of lap length in reinforcement?
It is used to transfer stress between two steel bars safely.
The failure initiated exactly where the laps were insufficient. Look at the stress concentration at the splice. It completely explains the brittle fracture.
Splicing at mid-height, shown here in red, is extremely dangerous due to the high stress concentrations in this zone.
So we must always avoid the center third?
Exactly. The code strictly prohibits it.
How do engineers ensure proper lap length?
By following design codes and staggering the lap positions.
Why is this critical during earthquakes?
Because improper lap joints can cause sudden brittle failure.
Excellent discussion today.
Follow for more civil engineering insights and real construction knowledge.
Class, why do we place reinforcement inside a concrete slab?
Because concrete is weak in tension, and steel reinforcement carries those tensile forces.
The critical thing to note is the relationship between the forces. We have maximum compression here at the top, and conversely maximum tension along the bottom edge.
What happens if reinforcement is insufficient?
The slab can crack excessively and lose structural capacity. Why is correct rebar spacing important?
Proper spacing controls cracks and distributes loads evenly.
What happens if reinforcement is insufficient?
The slab can crack excessively and lose structural capacity. What is concrete cover in reinforced concrete structures?
It is the layer of concrete that protects steel reinforcement.
Why do engineers use cover blocks in slabs?
They maintain concrete cover and protect steel from corrosion.
Excellent work, class.
Follow for more civil engineering lessons and construction knowledge.
Why is concrete cover necessary?
It protects steel from moisture, corrosion, and fire.
So tell me, what is the importance of cover here?
Adequate cover is crucial. It prevents rebar corrosion and the structural weakening that follows.
What problems will arise if the cover is insufficient? The rod will rust quickly, and the entire structure will weaken.
What happens if the cover is too small? No.
The steel may rust quickly and weaken the structure. How do engineers maintain proper cover?
By using concrete cover blocks during reinforcement work.
What happens when rebars touch the formwork?
Concrete cover is lost, and corrosion risk increases.
Why is cover especially important for foundations?
Foundations are exposed to soil, moisture, and aggressive conditions.
কংক্রিটে অতিরিক্ত পানি দিলে কি সমস্যা হয়? কংক্রিটের শক্তি উল্লেখযোগ্যভাবে কমে যায়, স্যার।
Why do many masons add more water?
To make the work easier and the concrete more liquid, sir.
বেশি পানি দিলে সিমেন্টের সাথে কি ঘটে? ওয়াটার সিমেন্ট রেশিও বেড়ে যায়, ফলে কংক্রিট দুর্বল হয়ে যায়।
এর ফলে ভবিষ্যতে কি সমস্যা দেখা দিতে পারে?
ফাটল, চুইয়ে পানি পড়া এবং স্থায়িত্ব কমে যাওয়ার ঝুঁকি বাড়ে।
ইঞ্জিনিয়াররা কিভাবে এই সমস্যাটি নিয়ন্ত্রণ করে?
নির্ধারিত মিক্স ডিজাইন এবং জল সিমেন্ট অনুপাত অনুসরণ করে।
What does excess water create inside concrete? Small hollow spaces or voids are created after drying.
আজকের ক্লাস থেকে কি শিখলে? কংক্রিটে প্রয়োজনের বেশি পানি নয়, সঠিক অনুপাতই শক্তিশালী ভবনের চাবিকাঠি।
Why is curing so important after concrete pouring?
Because concrete needs proper moisture to gain its full strength.
What happens if curing is not done correctly?
The concrete shrinks and cracks start forming very early.
What is happening inside concrete during curing?
A chemical reaction called hydration is developing strength inside.
How long should curing be maintained?
Generally 7 to 14 days, depending on structure type.
What is the benefit of proper curing? It increases strength, durability, and long-term safety.
Great work today. Hard toothy. Follow for more civil engineering lessons and construction insights.
ঢালাই করার পর সবচেয়ে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ধাপ হল কিউরিং। অনেকেই মনে করেন শুধু ঢালাই করলেই কাজ শেষ, কিন্তু আসল শক্তি আসে কিউরিং থেকে। কংক্রিটের ভেতরে সিমেন্ট ও পানির মধ্যে একটি রাসায়নিক প্রক্রিয়া চলে, যাকে হাইড্রেশন বলা হয়। এই প্রক্রিয়া ঠিকভাবে সম্পন্ন হতে হলে কংক্রিটে পর্যাপ্ত পানি ধরে রাখতে হয়। যদি কিউরিং না করা হয় তাহলে কংক্রিট দ্রুত শুকিয়ে যায় এবং তার পূর্ণ শক্তি অর্জন করতে পারে না। এর ফলে ছাদ, বিম ও কলামে ফাটল দেখা দেয় এবং ভবনের স্থায়িত্ব কমে যায়। তাই সাধারণত কমপক্ষে 7 থেকে 14 দিন পর্যন্ত নিয়মিত কিউরিং করা অত্যন্ত জরুরি। মনে রাখবেন, ভালো কংক্রিট মানে শুধু ভালো মিক্স নয়, বরং সঠিক কিউরিংই আসল শক্তি।
What are column stirrups?
They are steel ties that hold the vertical rebars together inside a column.
As you can see, the stress is concentrated right here.
And the stirrups prevent the longitudinal bars from buckling outward.
That's correct. And
What happens if stirrups are missing?
the vertical rebars may buckle and the column can lose strength. How do stirrups help during earthquakes?
They confine the concrete and improve seismic resistance. This is the incorrect spacing, which will not provide adequate shear reinforcement. You must ensure the stirrups are spaced correctly, closer together near the supports.
Excellent discussion today.
Follow for more civil engineering and construction knowledge.
So can you explain the primary function of these column stirrups in this design? Yes, the stirrups are essential for shear reinforcement, preventing the concrete from cracking diagonally under stress.
স্টিরাপ কেন ব্যবহার করা হয়? মেইন রডকে স্থির ও সহিক অবস্থানে রাখতে। কলামের স্টিরাপ কি? এটি এমন স্টিল টাই যা কলামের মেইন রডগুলোকে একসাথে ধরে রাখে।
স্টিরাপ না থাকলে কি হবে?
মেইন রড বেঁকে যেতে পারে এবং কলাম দুর্বল হয়ে যাবে।
ভূমিকম্পে স্টিরাপ কিভাবে সাহায্য করে?
এটি কংক্রিটকে আবদ্ধ রাখে এবং ভূমিকম্প প্রতিরোধ ক্ষমতা বাড়ায়।
কলাম কি?
কলাম হলো ভবনের উল্লম্ব কাঠামোগত সদস্য, যা পুরো ভবনের লোড নিচের ফাউন্ডেশনে পৌঁছে দেয়।
কলামের প্রধান কাজ কি? ছাদ, বিম এবং স্ল্যাবের সমস্ত লোড নিরাপদে ফাউন্ডেশনে স্থানান্তর করা।
কলাম দুর্বল হলে কি সমস্যা হবে?
পুরো ভবনের নিরাপত্তা ঝুঁকিতে পড়বে এবং ধসের সম্ভাবনা তৈরি হবে। কলামের ভেতরের রডের কাজ কি?
রড কলামকে টেনশন ও অতিরিক্ত লোড বহন করার শক্তি প্রদান করে।
স্টিরাপ কেন ব্যবহার করা হয়? স্টিরাপ মেইন রডকে বেঁকে যাওয়া থেকে রক্ষা করে এবং ভূমিকম্পে অতিরিক্ত নিরাপত্তা দেয়।
What is concrete cover?
Concrete cover is the distance between the outer concrete surface and the reinforcing steel.
Why is concrete cover important?
It protects reinforcement from moisture, corrosion, and environmental damage.
What happens if cover is insufficient? Steel starts corroding, and structural cracks begin to develop.
As you can see, the concrete cover is effectively shielding the rebar. Yes.
So the structural integrity remains sound despite the external
Precisely. The heat transfer is significantly delayed.
How do engineers maintain proper cover?
By using approved cover blocks before concrete placement.
What is the most common cover mistake?
Allowing reinforcement bars to touch the formwork or soil directly.
What is today's key lesson?
Proper concrete cover ensures durability, safety, and long service life. Follow for more engineering knowledge.
What is a beam in a building? A beam is a horizontal structural member that transfers loads to columns.
Why do beams require reinforcement bars?
Because concrete is weak in tension, and steel provides tensile strength.
Where are the main reinforcement bars placed?
Bottom bars resist tension at midspan, while top bars resist tension near supports.
What happens if beam reinforcement is insufficient? Cracks increase, deflection grows, and structural failure may occur.
These stirrups resist the shear forces near the supports. Why is that critical for integrity?
Without them, the diagonal tension would cause the beam to fail prematurely.
The rebar spacing here is inconsistent, and as you can see, the cover blocks are completely missing. This is unacceptable. It must be corrected before we proceed with the pour.
The tensile strength here allows for a lighter structure.
Yeah.
And this joint connects to the main column on the upper floor plan.
Exactly.
What is today's key lesson?
Proper beam reinforcement ensures strength, stability, and safety. Follow for more engineering knowledge.
What is rebar?
Rebar is reinforcing steel placed inside concrete to resist tensile forces.
What is a tendon?
A tendon is a high-strength steel cable used in pre-stressed concrete.
How does rebar help concrete?
It absorbs tensile stress that concrete alone cannot resist.
How does a tendon improve structural performance?
It compresses the concrete before loading and reduces cracking.
Where are tendons commonly used?
In long-span bridges, parking garages, and post-tension buildings.
What is today's key lesson?
Rebars resist tension, while tendons create compression for stronger structures. Follow for more engineering knowledge.
Did you know the Taj Mahal hides engineering secrets that still amaze experts today? Here's the biggest surprise. The foundation was designed using deep wells and wooden structural elements that remain stable because of constant moisture from the nearby Yamuna River. This helped the monument survive for nearly 400 years. Now let's talk about the mysterious 22 rooms. Many people believe they contain hidden treasures or secret passages. But experts say these chambers were mainly used as underground cooling spaces and are restricted today to help preserve the monument. There's also an incredible optical illusion. When you first see the Taj Mahal through the main gate, it looks huge and very close. But as you walk toward it, it seems to become smaller and farther away. And those 4 famous minarets? They lean slightly outward on purpose. If a major earthquake happens, they are designed to fall away from the main structure, protecting the central dome. The Taj Mahal is not just a symbol of love. It's a masterpiece of engineering, architecture, and scientific thinking that continues to inspire the world. Follow for more amazing engineering facts.